Have you ever wondered how to create those sleek drop down menus you see on websites? They look fancy but are super simple to make. Now let's build one together step by step. Step 1, basic drop down menu structure. Now come to your VS Code, or rather your code editor, and open a basic HTML template, right? Now making use of this exclamation tag, press enter. Now you have a basic HTML boiler template. And the first thing you do is to what? Use a select tag and the option element. So come to your body tag here, right? Come here and then use the select tag, and it says select, press enter. Now you have the select tag. Now after this, come into your select tag, right? Come here and then create the option element. So come here and say option and press enter. Now you have the option element. Okay, now the first thing you have to do here is that you have to put in the image, or rather whatsoever you want to put in into this your drop down menu. So it could be like the drop down menu is going to lead your users to a different page or a different section inside of your website. So let's say you have a different page in your website. How do you go about that? Now let's put that into this place. Now I've already created two pages, the about page and the contact page, right? So let's put these pages into our drop down menu. So all you have to do is to come here. Now in this your value, you just write in something, say about, right? And then let's do the same thing here, the same option element, and then we'll say contact. Okay, is that simple? And then here we're going to write in something so that we can, for our user to see. So let's just say about, and then let's say contact. Good. Now we have our two drop down menus showing about and contact. Now the last but not the least thing is that we also have to give this an ID. Now let's give it an ID of, say, drop down. Okay, now going forward to step 2, what do we have to do? We have to add a default option. Now how do you go about this? You use the selected attribute for a default selection. You come here and say selected, right? Selected disabled. Now the first thing I have to do now is that I have to create another option that would have the other. I want to create another option that would show choose an option. So let's come here and create that. Let's say option, and then on this option we'll write here choose an option. Okay, then in here we'll then put this selected and disabled. Okay, so this way you can guide your users. Now let's see this in action. So just come here and let's go live. Okay, do you see it, guys? Now you are now saying choose an option. And how do you do this? We made use of the selected attributes. So for a recap, all you have to do is create another option above your options, right? And then put this attribute you are seeing here, selected disabled. Automatically you now have a default option that would help you guide your users on what to do. Do you see it, guys? It's that simple. Now, step 3, group actions. Now you can group an action together, and to do that you make use of what? The up group tag. How do you go about that? You come here, right? Now after this your first option, you come here and then you say the opt group. You see it, guys, is a tag, right? You come here and put the opt group, okay? Of which instead of here, you can then put option, option. Say we have let's say we have on that page, right? That is, let's say the page is the home page. So let's say we have home, okay, and then same thing, we have option again, but this time to be going towards the about page. Say the about page, and then let's change here to what? Let's change here. Let's come here and then put this thing inside opt again, opt group, and then carry this one and copy it into the opt group and put it here. You see what I'm doing, guys? All right. And then you come here and then give it a label. So let's say this opt group has a label of say contact. And then let's change this to something else. Let's say the contact is that it can contact us through the email or through our phone number. Okay. And then for the other one, let's change this one to something else. Now let's also give this one a label of something. Let's give this first opt group a label of something. So let's just call it label of navigation. That is to help your users navigate your web page. Navigation. All right. So now we've given our drop down menu different options. Whereby we have the first option, which is what? The navigation, that will take them to either the home or the about. And then we then have the second opt group that has the contacts that will either help them contact us through our email or through our phone number. So now let's see this in action, guys. Let's see this in action. Let's press here, and you see it, guys. You see how beautiful it came out. Let's make these capital letters. Let's change this to capital C. Okay. Do you see, guys? Now we have been able to group different actions. So if we want our users to go to the navigation, they can either choose either the home or the about. Or if we want them to contact us in one way or the other, they can either choose the email or the phone number. Good. Now step 4, style the drop down menu. Now looking at this, it is looking just quite ugly and basic. Now let's style this and give it a modern look. All you have to do is to come to your head tag, right, and then make use of the style tag. So press install and press enter. Then the next thing is for us to press or to make use of the drop down. So how do you go about that? You come here. First of all, give your now as you can see, guys, we already gave it an ID of drop down. So you come here and then make use of hash drop down. Okay, drop down, and then you say let's give it a position of relative, a position of relative, a position of relative, and then let's give it an inline block display. That's to say display should be inline block. which is here. Okay, then the next one is what? The drop down content, right? That is everything you are seeing right here. So let's give it an ID so it will be easier for us to actually style. So let's give it a drop down content. Let's give it an ID here. Come here and give it an ID, which is from here. Say ID drop down content. Okay, so we come here and then call it out. So same thing, come here and say hash drop down content. Now what do we do? So let's say we want to give it a display. Say we can call it display none. Display should be none, right? And then let's give it a position of absolute. Position of absolute. Then background color. Let's change the background color to something else. Background color of say let's use this color F1 F1 F1, which is white. Let's just make it of say red. Let's use red. Good. Then let's give it a minimum width. A minimum width of say let's say 16 pixels. And then a box shadow of X should be 0 pixels, Y should be 8 pixels, and Z should be say 16 pixels. Okay, of which it will have different colors. So let's give it a color of say um of say okay, let's change something else. Let's change it to something else, to say 0 0 0 0.2, and then let's give it a Z index of say 1. And now going forward, let's do it that on hover to change color or something, to change the style. So that's to say hash drop down so rather let's drop down hover here, sorry, hover. So when we hover on it, let's say the drop down menu then becomes, let's say it then becomes displayed blocks. Okay, let's change the display to something like block. All right, so and then let's change the color as well. Let's say the color will then change to aqua, for example. Okay guys, so that's basically the style we can actually use. All right, and let's also add a little bit more of style to it, right? Let's also come here and let's style the select, and then let's say it should, the padding should be, say 10 pixels, right? Then the border should be, The border should be say 1 pixel and should be solid. Solid say green, and then let's give it a border radius of say 5 pixels, and then a background color, something that wouldn't contrast with our green. So let's say a background color of black. No, black is too of gray. Okay, good, gray is okay. And the last on the list is for us to style the option. So for the option, let's just say the option will have a padding of say just 5 pixels. A padding of say 5 pixels. Okay guys, now do you see? Now if I'm to come here, do you see how beautiful this is, guys? Do you see how beautiful and more organized it is? Do you see how organized it is? Do you see? So guys, this is basically how you actually style your drop down menu. All right, it's, as you can see, it's to the left hand side of our page. All right, so I will encourage you to just create your own drop down menu from scratch. Try it out, customize it, and share your own version in the comment section. And I will see you in my next video.